All right, guys, it's Coach Evan Macklin, and I'm here today with a powerful pro tip that will change the game for you. Real quick, follow me at Coach_Evan Macklin or my cell phone for the top 1%ers, that need a little bit of extra help. Shoot me a text, 720-202-9765. Got a powerful tip for you, and I want to ask you this question because I've been there a lot of times, and what I found was I just didn't have the right routine, the right rituals, and the right habits to be a top 1%er in my industry. When Andy taught me how to have a game plan like I'm about to teach you guys, it changed everything in my life. So I want to ask you this. Have you ever been at your dealership? Have you ever been at your business and you've been there for 12 hours and you've thought to yourself, I've got nothing to show for the last 12 hours that I spent at this place? If that's you, I guarantee you'll be able to identify one or two or three or four or maybe everything in this video, and you'll be able to either enhance your game or totally transform it. But I want to ask you guys this. Do you have a solid routine every day like a professional pilot or a professional athlete would? Guys, it's time to think about our businesses like becoming professional athletes. If you're in sales, which is why you're on here, you have the ability to make more income than anybody in the world. So you need to start to treat your mindset, your routine, your habits, everything like a routine, like a flow that's going to help you go to the next level. How do I do that? I'm about to show you right now. But I also want to show you something real quick. True professionalism in sales is less about the pitch and more about the routine. It's the daily disciplines, the mastered habits, and the unwavering commitment to excellence that turn a salesperson into a sales pro. There's a difference between a salesperson and a sales pro. Salespeople, they don't have discipline. They don't have unwavering routines. They're not going to operate like I'm about to show you how a pro operates. There's the amateurs, those are the salespeople, and then there's the pros, the level of entrepreneurship. The pros, they're thinking, they're creative, they're on this video and they're excited. They can't wait to figure out what they're not doing right so they can go back and readjust it and look in the mirror. So let's go to this next slide real quick. I want you to write these things down real quick. And these are going to be your high value activities. Starting with your routine in the morning, you should have a daily checklist. When I talked about a professional pilot or professional athlete, let's take a professional pilot, for example. Every time a pilot is about to get on a plane, what do? They go through their checklist. They make sure every little thing is right before they turn the plane on and they're ready to go. Doesn't matter. We just spent 3 days with some Army Rangers, some Navy SEAL guys, and every time they got on a plane, every time they got on their helicopter, every single time they check the list. They make sure everything's right before they start. I want to ask you, are you doing the same thing? So number one, I want you to write this down. Before you do anything in sales, it comes down to your attitude. You need to do a checkup from the neck up and ask yourself, am I grateful for today? Am I grateful for my job? How many of you guys got the job? You were pumped up. You called your damn mom. You called your dad. You're like, Mom, Dad, I got the freaking job. You know, Toyota hired me today. I'm super pumped up about it. And then now you're falling asleep at the job and you're not grateful anymore. I'm grateful every day for my ability to influence, persuade, help people go to the next level, help people with my product. I believe in it. That's so important. You got to hang on to that gratitude. So attitude of gratitude, write that down. Do I have an attitude of gratitude? You might think that sounds stupid, but I can smell an ungrateful salesperson from a mile away. Don't be one of those salespeople. Do you have an attitude of gratitude? Number two, throughout the day, you have to be doing a productivity check. There's so many distractions with Instagram and Facebook and everything else that a lot of people, they don't just slow down and every 2 hours check back on what was their productivity. Were they doing revenue producing activities? High producing activities, not low producing activities like scrolling and whatever the hell people are doing nowadays. Are you doing the right revenue producing activities? Number three, be early. Look, man, most salespeople, not the pros, they're waking up out of bed late, they're strolling in, they're just putting their damn tie on, you know, they're chaotic, they're confused, they're not ready for the day, and you can tell. They're rolling in the sales meeting 5 minutes late. Don't be that person. When I was going to my dealership every day as a top 1%er, I was there early. Make sure you're there early. Number four, park in the back. If you're at the dealership and you're parking in the front, I know it sounds crazy, but every time I'm at a dealership, there's always a salesperson parked up front. Park in the back. It's going to save room for your clients. Every time I got to the dealership, my boss, he used to freak out if we weren't parked in the back. Park in the back so your people have a place to park. Number five, walk your inventory. So when you park in the back, it gives you a chance to walk your inventory. I knew exactly where my all-weather package Rogues were with the Midnight Edition. I knew exactly what Ultimas I had. I knew exactly what Muranos I had. I knew what was on special. I checked the website. I knew what lease specials we had. You gotta know this stuff. So whatever you're selling, we're talking automotive right now, do you know your inventory? Do you know where everything is? Your used cars, do you know where they are? Do you know where the high gross vehicles are? Do you know what that looks like? You should, and if you don't, I guarantee you, it's one of the issues you face. How many times I've seen salespeople, a customer walk in and say, hey, I'm here to see XYZ car. I'm here to see your 2018 Nissan Titan. And nobody knows where it is. That's crazy. You gotta be a pro. Pros know their inventory like the back of their hand. Number 6, reviewing your goals daily, okay? For me, this is reviewing my KPIs. So when I was in the car business, I knew how many ups I took for the day, I knew how many write-ups I took for the day, and I knew how many closes. If I didn't know, or if my percentages were below the national average, let's just take 40% for example. If I were to have 5 customers come in, let's say 10 customers come in over the week, and I took 90% of them on a test drive, and I only got 4 people to a write-up, and I only closed 1 person, I can look at those KPIs and know that, number 1, I need to be demoing everybody, guys. They didn't come in just to freaking look at a car. Everybody leaves with a demo. Everybody gets on a test drive. Also, I know that I need to take more people to the pencil. It's a numbers game, right? I know with my numbers that the KPIs are off. Then I know that I need to get my closing percentage up, which leads me to this one. Number 7, the Elliott Group Academy. If you're struggling with your goals and you reviewed them, you've walked your inventory, you know what's out there, you're early, you're fired up, and you identify a problem, you can easily go into your Elliott Group Academy, guys, and now you're training for 20 minutes on the exact issue that you're facing. If it's phones, if it's outbound phone calls, if it's social media, whatever the heck it is. If it's closing, objection handling, it's all in the Elliott Group Academy. Number 8, and here's where a lot of salespeople lose themselves. They're doing busy work when there's ups and people coming in on the lot all the time. So what you need to do is you need to be able to do your busy work before the clients get there, your spare keys, your window tint, all of the stuff that's going to distract you from revenue producing activities. What are we here talking about? The high value activities. But in order to get to the high value stuff, you're gonna have to get rid of the busy work, so then that way you're not bothered when it comes to producing some money for yourself and for your company. Everybody say, get rid of the busy work. Get rid of the busy work. And generate leads. Everybody wants to generate leads, and you're probably sitting on the screen and you're probably like, get to the generating leads. But I know this, if you don't have a great attitude, if you know that you're not early, you're not fired up for the day, your blood's not flowing, you haven't parked in the back, and you're not walking your inventory, it doesn't matter if you're gonna generate leads, because when they come in, you're probably not gonna have the right energy or the knowledge to sell them. What if they ask you about a car and you don't know where it is? That's why it's so important to follow these rules, okay? But generating leads, follow this rule, write this down, the 20 by 20 by 20 rule. 20 texts, 20 emails, and 20 calls. Okay, now what I did was I want you to write this down as well. Have a red zone list. Have a red zone list. This is your hit list. Red zone in football, what that means is they're so close to scoring, they're within the 20-yard line. That's the red zone. Okay, with your prospects, there's no difference. There's probably somebody in here, Mr. and Miss Smith, last night that was looking at a Rogue, and they're so close to scoring, but they might need one little touch. They might need one little call. They might just need one little conversation that's going to tip them over the edge. Okay, it could be somebody from 2 or 3 days ago, and you called them, and they were going to look at another Nissan dealer or another Toyota dealer or something like that, and this is a good chance to follow up with them. I kept them on a red zone list right on my desk, because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I love the CRM and use the CRM. But at the end of the day, have something written down where you can immediately look and know exactly where you can produce revenue for your company, for yourself, today, right now. That's gonna be your red zone list, okay? Generating leads though, 20 by 20 by 20 rule, call, text, email, pretty straightforward. If you're gonna generate leads as well, when you're parking in back and you're walking up front, you should be walking through the service drive. If I'm gonna generate leads, I wanna knock the dust off myself for a second, get the blood flowing, and I'm gonna walk up to a customer who's at the coffee machine, and I'm gonna talk to them. I'm talking to my service advisors, and I'm asking them if there's any big bills coming in today or any customers that they think of that might be interested in a new car. I might be showing them some reciprocity, guys. A lot of you guys don't have freaking relationships with the people in your service department. You know they buy cars too? It's crazy. I would see service advisors buy cars from other dealerships because our salespeople didn't have the right relationship with them. Know your service department. Bring them some breakfast burritos. That's reciprocity. It might cost you $10 and get you a few car deals. Then you might see somebody at the coffee machine. You might walk up to them and say, hey, Mr. Customer, my name's Evan Macklin. I'm the customer loyalty manager. Nice to meet you. Hey, real quick, I just want to ask you, how's our service department treating you today? What are you getting done on your car? Oh, you're getting an oil change. Do you use us often? Did you buy it from us? You did 3 or 4 years ago? Wow, that's awesome. And you drive a 2018 Nissan Altima. Nice. Listen, I just want to ask you a hypothetical. This is a hypothetical close. You could go into our academy and look at it. Hypothetically, let's say he were to offer you more money than that 2018 Nissan Altima is worth. If he was able to do that, would you be interested in knowing what that number would be? Would you? They're gonna say yes. If they say no, paint pictures and tell stories. Totally get it. Listen, totally understand. Can I ask you a question? If somebody were walking by your house and your house was worth $300,000 and they were gonna offer you more money than it was worth, 400, 500, would you wanna know the number? Yeah, you would. Follow me. Let me just give you the number, and in the end, it's your decision. Does that sound fair? Simple word track. Pull them out of the service department. Now we've got a lead. Lastly, now it's time to get out there. All of this stuff, if you did this in sequence, should take you maybe an hour, hour and a half max. I typically was at my dealership an hour before everybody opened up. So by 9:30, I was already out there. I already talked to some people in service. I'm already moving. I'm already shaking. Or the more hands you shake, the more money you're gonna make. It's very simple. So I'm trying to shake hands with everybody in my dealership. I'm also just trying to get the blood flowing and the dust knocked off. If you do this every day, I guarantee you, you will make more money, you will have a better life, and you will go home at the end of the day and know that the 12 hours you put in was worth it because you sold 2, you sold 3, you sold 4, you set the record in the store, you sold 5, you're kicking butt, you're taking names, and you're providing a service that's a pro. So all of my pros out there that want to go pro, say go pro. And when you say it like you mean it. And then get out there and go pro. Now that you got out there, it's time to go shake hands and put on a show worth paying for. Can you do that? I believe in you. Let's go get it.